What's going on? Random stream. What's going on, you guys? What kind of canvas am I using? This is a Sketchbook Strathmore Tone Tan Mixed Media. Hi from Chile. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. It's kind of chilly. Beautiful sketch. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys had a good week. It's Thursday already. Week's basically over. Just randomly felt like jumping on and streaming, so I had this sketch ready and figured I'd just paint it on here. So, hello from Australia. You look cold. It's actually kind of warm with all these lights. Working on block prints up in Boston. Nice, nice, nice. Hey, from Ireland, love your work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful artwork. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, what part of Boston? Brookline, nice. You say you're working on block prints. How do you decide what color to use as foundation? For this one, I just had, my palette was dirty. I just used this red because it was already on my palette. And I just want to test it out to see how it goes. But yeah, I'm just kind of jumping into it. No real plan, but gouache is opaque, so you can just, if you don't like it, you can just easily cover it up. Getting some flyers ready for the weekend at the Common. Nice. Nice. It's kind of hot. I'm burning up. How come you don't have more subscribers? Maybe because I post like once a year. I was more active, but then I kind of on YouTube I like fell off for the past 2 years and haven't gotten back into the swing of things, so it's to be expected. And I don't really know what to make videos about anymore. I don't just want to make tutorials and stuff, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to do on YouTube. What's up? How's it going? How's it going? I love your art. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Undertones. You're building like a house from the foundation, dark to light, or are you creating contrast? I start with just a base color, and then from there just do like a quick value study to see where like all the shadows are. With gouache, you can go light to dark to light. You can go either way if you want. I kind of build more from dilute to opaque. So I start with watered down paint and then slowly build it up in opacity. Are you full-time artist or do you work with something else? I have a part-time job that I do remote job that I do along with art. Stunning work. I watch your technique so much for a long time. Watching. Thank you. Oh, so you paint. So you will eventually cover with more opaque paint. Yep, exactly. First layer is just to get something down, and then as I build up the layers, I'll start adding less and less water, making the paint more and more opaque. Mapping out the highlights now. Is this acrylic gouache or traditional? This is a traditional gouache, just regular gouache. Are those highlights? Yeah, they're gonna be. They're really dilute right now. When they dry, they're not gonna be this bright because the paint is pretty dilute. But I'm just getting something on the paper that I can work with. Weird question, but do you squint to see contrasting values? Yeah, I do sometimes. I squint more from life. Like if I'm painting from life, I squint more because it's a little harder to distinguish the values, but from photos it's a little bit easier. Do you think it's possible to work only with art and live comfortably? I'm about to start in this. There's people that do it. It's tough, but there's definitely people that do it, especially in the day of social media. I would say you gotta be really good at a lot of the non-art stuff though, if you want to do it. So like administrative work and all that, emails and finding jobs and stuff, all the unfun stuff. But it's definitely doable. There's people out here making more than traditional jobs though. But yeah, this early stage is just about getting paint down. because all the colors are gonna look completely different once they dry. So it's just putting something down to see what it looks like, and then you can adjust later. Oh, I just noticed you have a very one pile that chooses a color from palette. Yeah, this is my palette from when I painted these two paintings. I didn't even clean it off. I just kind of, because I use the same colors for pretty much everything, so I just posted this. But so I had the leftover colors and I was just working with those. Because gouache you can just reactivate the paint once it dries. So I feel like I always have 200 wells of paint. I have like, this is like 36 I think, but I definitely don't use all of them. I have like my go-tos, but I just have them all in the palette so that I don't have to squeeze them out of the tube. This it looks great. Like the way I paint, it always jumps straight to like a crazy ugly phase in the beginning. But then it with more and more layers, it starts to come together. But yeah, what you see on the palette and what's on the page is definitely going to be different. So I find that it's better just to get stuff down so you can see what it actually looks like and then go from there. Those wells you just showed, what about them? You're getting more structure. You can paint on top of that. Really cool. Yeah. Yeah, like it's for me it keeps it interesting, because if I can't be too systematic or else I kind of get bored. I don't know. It keeps it interesting. Like right now, I don't know if this is gonna work out yet. Well, I'm pretty sure I know I'm gonna be able to pull it together because I paint portraits all the time. So, but just these early stages, it gives you like interesting textures that you can incorporate, or just paint on top of them if you don't like it. The palette I just showed is a watercolor or gouache. Yeah, this is gouache, regular traditional gouache. I'm gonna paint in a dark background. Lately I've been putting the background in early because it helps me judge all the colors. Judge like the values of the colors that I'm putting down. So putting down a nice dark color and only one brush. I started with this brush, but yeah, for the most part I'll just be using these angled shader brushes. If I need more accurate brushes, then I'll switch over. But the angled brushes are nice because they're really versatile. You can use the point for like if you want thin lines, and then you can use the broad edge to cover large areas. Sorry I missed the first part. I just started maybe a couple minutes ago. I've only been going for 14 minutes. So yeah, you didn't miss much. Do you prep the paper with water ahead of time, or is the page dry right now? I prep the paper ahead of time. No, I don't do any prep ahead of time. The only prep I do ahead of time is the pencil sketch. I had that done already. But as far as like the painting, everything is just done on the spot. Holy moly, very awesome. Thank you. Hello from Uruguay. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys are a couple hours behind. I'm on the East Coast, so it's 10 o'clock here. Curious what brand of gouache you use? I have a number of brands. This is my palette. So I'm mostly using my Mary gouache. I have Turner gouache, and then some M Graham. But yeah, these are all the colors that I have. How long did it take for you to develop your style? I mean, I got back into painting in 2018, so since then, I would say. My style, it wasn't something that I like set out to intentionally do. It kind of came based on like preferences. So like, I like using flat brushes, and that lends itself to like this blocky look. But I think it's still evolving, changing, so. Beautiful, I love your art. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was bored, so I decided to just jump on the stream. I don't know, the last time I streamed, it was probably like, definitely a couple months ago. I might finally try to get like an actual streaming schedule together so that people know when I'm on and it's not like random pop-ups. I agree, I've been making art for like 15 years now. My style stays changing. Yeah, it's nice not to stay stagnant too long, you know. Try different things out. Always try to learn something new. Your painting is so nice. Thank you. Do you recommend tubes or tubs for gouache? I had Arctics and it dried out after a year of not using them and spraying them with water. I'm using tubes, but I squeeze them out into these wells. This is one of those airtight palettes that when you close the lid, it keeps the paint wet longer. But the only thing you have to watch out for is, especially in the warmer weather, you can develop like mold inside of the wells. So occasionally just check on it. If you're gonna let it sit for a long time, you want to let it dry completely. But I like just squeezing my tubes out into these types of palettes. I don't like having to squeeze the paint out every time I want to use it. I like having all my colors just ready to go. I never tried the Arctics gouache, so I don't know what it's like. But most gouaches, all you gotta do is just add some water, and you can like bring them back to life. You might have to break up like the chunks with like a Q-tip, like not a Q-tip, a toothpick or like a paper clip, something that's sharp that you can break up the chunks. But for the most part, you should be able to revive your gouache. What's the most interesting part of painting? My favorite part of painting is just putting down a bunch of shapes and blocks of color and trying to make it come together in a coherent way. Once I build up the paint to a point where like you're carving into shapes, that's like the funnest part for me. I love the flat brush strokes. Thank you. Yeah, it's fine. It makes the art seem a bit more intentional because you're like being decisive with what you think where a plane should go. You can blend it out more if you want to, but I leave a lot of the blocky strokes in because I just like how it looks. Um, I love that flat. The only irritating thing is be careful not to drop it. All the pans fall out and it's a mess. Yeah, for sure. Yes, that's never fun. I dropped my... When I paint outside, like for plein air painting, I have a palette with like a glass base on it. It's one of those stay wet palettes, but I put a piece of glass on it so that I can clean it up easy. But I dropped it once outside, and it like shattered and cracked up into a bunch of pieces. And my painting day was over after that. Personally, I let my extra gouache dry completely. Then, if I need more, I add a tiny dab of the new stuff from the tube, and it completely revives it. Yeah, that's smart. You don't have to worry about the mold issue. I always forget to do that. I just put it right in the fridge, and then end up, if I don't use it after a while. But if I know I'm not going to be painting with gouache for a while, I should just let it dry out completely. Oh no. Yeah, it happens. Stuff happens, but yeah, it keeps it interesting. If everything worked out every single time, what fun would that be? At least that's what I tell myself. Springtime, the weather, it's not quite as warm as I like it to be yet, but it's getting there. A couple more weeks. And I'm gonna be back outside painting again. I always said this about subscribers because his art is amazing. Yeah, no, thank you, but no, it's entirely my fault on YouTube. I don't post. I stopped making videos regularly. Like it was I was doing good. I was doing good back in like 20 up until 2021. Then I moved like 3 times in like a year, and I just fell out of the habit of making YouTube videos, and just haven't got back into a regular posting schedule. And now I don't really know what I want to make videos about anymore, so but thank you. You see how that light color I put down earlier, it's really not as bright as it was when it first went down. A lot of the colors shifted, and now I know what they look like, so I can like calibrate what I'm mixing on the actual palette. So if you guys are just getting into gouache, that's something you have to get used to, is all the how much the color changes going from wet to dry. Mold freaks me out. Have you worked on landscape or cityscapes paintings? Yeah, I do. I do plein air. It's I have one sketchbook right here. This is my latest one. So this is number 5. I haven't painted in it since the winter time, but I'm gonna get back into it. I did actually made a post with all of these. It was a quick reel though. so it scrolled by fast and you couldn't really see it. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. Try egg tempura, very interesting medium. Yeah, it looks cool. There's an artist on Instagram that uses egg tempura. His name's Julio Reyes. His stuff is crazy, but he does egg tempura. And I definitely want to try to see how it actually behaves. Man, you always blow me away. Thank you. Do you have any tips on matting, framing art pieces? What medium are you using? If you wanted to frame gouache, you can either frame it behind glass or varnish it. So the varnish, I tried out using this cold wax medium varnish, which is pretty cool, but it changes the surface a little bit. It makes your painting not be quite as matte anymore. It gives it a tiny bit of shine. Like I can show you. So this is these are two gouache paintings that have one had I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but so these were from life, but this one has the cold wax medium on it, and then this one is just gouache. So I don't know if you can see it, but this one has a tiny bit of a shine, but it's not too much though. It's not like glossy. It's just slightly a little bit shiny if you look at it at an angle, and then this is what it looks like without any wax medium. So it's not a big difference. And it once you put the wax medium on, it makes the paint waterproof. I love the landscape paintings. Don't recall seeing that video. Yeah, it was posted as a reel, and my reels don't really. The posts that do best for me are like regular posts with like the carousel posts. So whenever I post a reel, it doesn't get pushed out that much, but it's on my reels tab. The poster paint is a tempera. Also, the colors don't fade. What do you think of Snickers poster paint? Yeah, that's like the paint that Studio Ghibli uses. The poster colors. I haven't tried them out myself, but they look cool. They look really similar to gouache. Do you have any tips on framing? They're both beautiful. Thank you. I mean, the colors dry as they are, unlike gouache. The poster paints, they don't have like the color shift. Is that what you meant? Because that would be kind of cool if that is the case. It'll make mixing your colors a lot easier. My main problem was not using the right brushes, paper, and right paint. I got a Hemi art pad and my paintings were so much better. Yeah, I haven't tried those paints. I haven't tried the Hemi gouache, but I know the paper definitely makes a big difference. At least I would say if you're using gouache, you want to at least have mixed media paper. Watercolor paper is nice too, but yeah, the paper makes it. But gouache is like between, if you compare gouache to watercolor, the type of paper you use makes it's much more of a big deal when it comes to watercolor versus gouache. Gouache is a little bit more flexible, since you can like work more opaque. But yeah, definitely the materials can make your experience much better or worse. What I was trying to say is I was using watercolor paper with gouache. Oh yeah, water paper with gouache. I like mixed media paper a little bit better because it doesn't quite absorb the paint as much. Like the paint sits on top a little bit more, which I like. Because it makes it easier to get flat blocks of color. So I like smooth papers, and if I was gonna use watercolor paper, I would prefer like a hot press, something that is smoother, versus like a cold press with more texture. But in general, like this paper I'm using now is like really smooth, so it's nice. Like when you put your stroke down, it basically keeps this the exact shape that you want it to have. JMR, what's up? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? When did you start drawing, and what did you focus on? I started, it's been about a half hour now. Or did you mean like in general? When did I start drawing? In general? I would say I've been drawing since I was a kid, but not like I took like in high school I kind of stopped drawing. As high school and college I was like more interested in sports, and I got back into drawing in grad school. But in general I've been at least doodling and like scribbling in the margins of my paper and stuff my whole life. Oh my god, I'm loving this because I admire your work. Sorry, just seeing these lives now. Yeah, thank you. It's been a couple months since I hopped on here. I'll stream for like a couple weeks and disappear for a couple months and pop back up. So this is I guess you just happen to catch one of the random times that I hop on here. With a knicker poster paint are like gouache but not light fast. Oh really? So yeah, they're more of a sketch type of medium then. Interesting. I was trying really hot press, definitely. Watercolor is like staining the paper, while gouache is like putting paint on top of the paper. Yeah, exactly. Watercolor paper is transparent. Gouache is opaque, but you can water it down to be transparent too. So it's pretty flexible. My color theory teacher had us using acrylic gouache on Bristol paper. Nice. Yeah, I like acrylic gouache or gouache. It really depends on my mood. Like I'll have phases where I feel like painting a regular gouache or switch over to acrylic gouache. I love the fact that your palette looks simple, yet you're able to get so many values. Thank you. Yeah, you can get a lot with. You don't need a lot of colors to make the results readable. What was I gonna say? I want to start getting this blonde hair, and that's one of the things I always struggle with, like blonde hair and trying to make it look readable, because it's not just like it's like greens, and it's a lot of different colors in blonde hair. When you do a sketchbook tour, this sketchbook you flash looks awesome. Yeah, I could do. I can do a quick tour right now. Sure. Yeah, this one is almost done. I kind of jump back and forth between books. But yeah, so yeah, this was most recently. Only thing, since these are both regular gouache, I'm gonna have to put something in between the pages to to protect it, because sometimes it could wash up. This page is unfinished, but these are some thumbnails. This actually turned into a full painting. I don't know what to do with these yet. This is a personal favorite, like a Matrix fan art. Ink drawing, another gouache painting. I like all the brush strokes on that one. Random color experiments. These are gouache paintings. So this is why I put like parchment paper in between. If there's like two gouache paintings back to back, I'll just like protect them with parchment paper. Because especially like white really smears onto the next page, or dark colors as well. Like you can kind of see a little bit here front, and that's from here, this over here. This one, these two, these are acrylic gouache. This last one was regular gouache. Acrylic gouache. This is acrylic gouache as well. This one's regular gouache. And then this was a demo I just did for the Palm Beach Watercolor Society. That was kind of fun. Just every time I had to do a short, under an hour demo, I just paint this skull because it doesn't take long. I did a little color study. This eye was another demo. I forgot for who, but more Matrix fan art. Another portrait. This is acrylic gouache. Portrait, but I wanted to draw some Venus flytraps for some reason. This is acrylic gouache. Acrylic gouache. What was this? This was the demo too. These are both regular gouache. I didn't finish this though, but I might come back to it. And this last one, acrylic gouache. That's a quick sketchbook tour. Morpheus, but it's all amazing. What kind of book are you using? This book is a Strathmore Tone Tan mixed media. Tone Tan mixed media, and this is the 8x11. It's letter size, so 8.5 by 8.5 by 11. Love. Thank you. I got my child traps for Christmas. I just got new brushes today. Going to try block colors like that. I love how that looks. Thank you. Yeah, I find it works well for gouache, because when you put blocks of color down, it dries like evenly, and it gives you, sometimes if you're using round brushes, you might struggle with getting like a patchy look. So working in like blocks of color like this kind of gets rid of that patchy look. And if you can always blend out if you don't like the angular look, you can always just blend it out as well. Outstanding. Thank you so much. No problem. Thank you. Yes, impromptu sketchbook tour. Love all the spreads. Thank you. How do you keep your sketchbook so neat looking? So this one, the purpose of this one is to practice painting, but I have I have a lot of other messier sketchbooks. Like this one. This one is just for like, I take this with me when I ride on the train, and this is just like random pen doodles and stuff. So it's just like sketching people that I see on the train, or I've been sketching cars from my window. So just like, it's different purposes, but this is more what you would think of the actual word, like sketchbook. This kind of stuff. This one is just more presentable, and it's just the paper's a little nicer, so it's nice. I like to practice painting on it. I wouldn't want to not waste this paper, but I have cheaper sketchbooks for like the quicker sketches, and I use the nicer paper for paintings. Oh golly, I love the blocks, but you don't see that. You see the whole thing. Incredible. Thank you. Do you find that old acrylic gouache gets clumpy? Yeah, it does. Once acrylic gouache dries, it gets all clumpy. So you really have to. When I'm working with it, I have a spray bottle that I'm constantly spraying my palette to keep the paint dry. I mean, keep the paint wet. But yeah, acrylic. But if you can, then acrylic gouache is nice because it's easier to layer acrylic gouache versus regular gouache, because once it dries, the layer below it doesn't disturb it as easily. So if you work with like a more layering, if you want to do layering easier, then you want to try acrylic gouache. And if you want to layer but still have an easier time blending, then you probably want to go for a regular gouache. Impromptu sketchbook tour. Why didn't you start your t-shirt biz yet? I was totally by with the coolest slogan. Are you kidding? I have a real bad problem with procrastinating. It's like a lot of stuff that I could and should probably do that I just haven't yet. I always procrastinate with stuff that can make me money. And it's bad because it would be nice to have more money. You're my favorite artist. I feel like you don't pop up on my feed enough anymore. Yeah, I haven't been posting that regularly lately. Sometimes I go through phases where I just like feel like not posting as much, but then I, get back to it. Yeah, like I've been posting like once a week maybe. Wow, that last one, thank you. Thank you. Does it gouache dry quick? Yeah, gouache dries within a minute, when it's in a couple minutes. Regular gouache, that's not a problem because you can always just reactivate it. But acrylic gouache is tricky because you can't, once it dries completely, it doesn't reactivate. So it's a tricky balance. Thank you so much for sharing your process. Any thoughts on the differences between white, zinc, titanium, etc.? Yeah, titanium white is opaque. Zinc white is more transparent. So if you want to mix your colors without having a white like overpower it, then you probably want to go for zinc white. And if you really want that opacity to cover up, then you want to go for titanium white. I don't use zinc white too much anymore, just because I just don't have. I I use this titanium white from a brand called M Gram, and it's opaque, but it's not super opaque. So actually, this titanium white is almost, from the M Gram, is almost like a halfway point between like a zinc white and a titanium white from like another brand. Like Winsor & Newton titanium white in gouache is really opaque, but it has like this, it dries to like, it has like a weird sheen to it when it dries. But the M Gram one it's still opaque, but it's not as opaque as other brands that I've seen. So it's like a halfway point between zinc and titanium white, if that makes sense. Speaking of fan art, do you have a show or game you're inspired by lately? Yeah, I've been wanting to make a Full Metal Alchemist fan art. I rewatched it like a couple weeks ago and been wanting to make like a fan art of it. I think that would be fun. Even then, I always sketch over top of my other sketches, but I see what you mean by separation of notebooks. Yeah, I have a bunch of different, like I have this one, I have one just for figure drawing, one just for, basically I have series that I kind of group by the activity that is for. So one is just general messy sketches, one is figure drawing quick sketches, then there's one figure drawing like from life. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of different multi-purpose sketchbooks. How about a zine of your sketches? I'll buy some t-shirts too. I scanned my the landscape plein air, the landscape plein air paintings. I fully scanned the first 2 books. There's 5, so I gotta finish scanning them, and then I can make like some kind of print of those. And I said I'll do it before this year is over, so hopefully I'll stick to that. Cause yeah, it's about time I try to actually stop procrastinating on selling stuff. Is this Impressionism style art? I'm actually bad with art history terms. I don't really know. Impressionism. Who's Impressionism? That's like Picasso and those guys. I never started to study art history like that. But I'm just looking at blocks of color that I'm seeing and applying it, but not having to be completely literal with what I'm seeing. It's like carving out the painting with blocks of color is how I like to think of it. Monet? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Monet. Yeah, I don't think my style is like that. Maybe it is. Cool, can't wait for you to publish them. Thank you. I'll get back on my Instagram, posting regularly. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So how are you guys doing? You have a good week? It's already April. It feels like 2025 just started, and we're already a fourth. Yeah, we're already a quarter down. Would you consider an online type class? Yeah, I have an online class, gouache class through 21 Draw for gouache, but I want to make some more with about either watercolor or Procreate, stuff like that. January 25 was so long. What's my January? I feel like my March and February flew by very quickly. How do you avoid your colors getting muddy when mixing on a flat palette and continually adding various colors in? Muddy colors. When I apply the color, I just put it down with a confident stroke and don't really fuss too much with it. So whatever color I put down, it goes down as a flat color, because I'm really working with just basically mud, but I just tint the mud into a specific color that I want, like a specific color and value that I want it to be, and it will look good. It looks good or bad based on the context of the other colors that are around it. So I'm not really thinking about in terms of if I'm making muddy colors or not. I'm more thinking about what I'm putting down, how the value of it, and the hue, the value, saturation, how all of that compares to the colors that are around it. So I'm not looking at like the absolute color. It's mostly how it works with the adjacent colors. I don't know if that makes sense. And with gouache, I find that the results are a bit more interesting if you let some of that mud develop, because you can get a bunch of interesting color mixes that you might not think to deliberately add in. As soon as the time change hit, the days are flying by even faster. I know, right? That's definitely been the case. I do like how it's it stays daylight longer though. So it's always a trade-off. Cause I hate when it's like 4:30 and it looks like it's midnight outside. I like the longer days. Do you find yourself looking at the picture but also modifying the portrait based on experience? Yeah, I modify it depending on. I might not like a specific shape, or I might want to change things. And I'm not for like a study like this for like just a personal quick painting. That's not like for anything. I don't spend as much time trying to get it to match exactly. It's more so just having fun throwing some paint around and maybe getting a cool result at the end of it. Great week, getting lots of drawing done. I just wish I could sketch in the rain. Yeah. Yeah, I use water-based media, so if I try to paint outside, in the rain or anything, it doesn't work out too well for me. And you're only using one brush? Yeah, so far I've just been using this angle shader. It's a 1/2 inch angle shader, so it comes to a point, but it also, you can use the broad strokes as well. And for the base layer, I just use the same brush, but just the 1 inch version of it. So yeah, one brush so far for the most part. Longer days are cool, good for working longer outdoors. I read that sketching at night is great for tone studies. Yeah, I want to do more nocturnes, painting outside, like plein air outside at night. My last couple, I haven't done them in a while. My last couple plein air sketchbooks haven't had any nighttime paintings. I don't want to be out there by myself at night, because it's hard to pay attention to your surroundings if you're painting. Like, and you definitely want to be vigilant if you're outside, unless you're like in a pretty good area. But in Providence, there's a thing called Water Fire. It's like an event where, like, downtown, they light up all these lamps and stuff, and it's a lot of people hang out to see the lamps. And I painted that a couple times, and that was fun at night with all the fire and stuff. Does the bristle of the brush matter? Camel hair, plastic brushes, etc. What do you prefer? I prefer, for gouache, I like synthetic brushes because they hold their shape. And depending on the type of synthetic brush, they can hold a good amount of water too. I wouldn't use natural hair, like expensive brushes with gouache. Like, I have these sable brushes for watercolor, but I wouldn't use them with gouache because gouache can be a bit more harsh on your brushes versus watercolor. So if you were going to use the natural hair brushes, you want to make sure that you wash them completely and thoroughly after every use, because you don't want to mess up your brushes. So yeah, I prefer synthetic brushes for gouache. Agree, not too safe. Yeah, it's just, if you're gonna paint outside, just pick a crowd area that's, has a decent amount of foot traffic that you're not just out there. But it's fun though, because it's different colors that you don't typically use in daytime plein air scenes. I can show you really quick. Yeah, like these were the two. This was that the water fire I was talking about. This was at nighttime. So these are like all the lamps in the water. And then this is downtown Providence. But yeah, you get all these dark colors, and then you can really make like the windows pop out with like lighter colors. So it's like fun. Do you follow a particular method for sketching upper body portraits? Particular method. When I was first learning, I learned by doing like the Loomis method, like the Loomis heads. I keep bits and pieces of the Loomis head, but I don't do like the whole step by step anymore. These days I kind of just roughly start with the general shape and what do I do? Somebody's playing. Oh, somebody's playing music next door. What was I talking about? How do I draw portraits? It's hard to. I kind of draw portraits like once I have the general shape. I work from bottom up. Like I start with the chin and then the lips, and then I use that to kind of judge everything else. So I'm looking for like this triangle between all the features, and then I make sure everything's lined up and just look for different reference points. Awesome, thank you. I hope AI cannot plagiarize a work that is made with the feelings, emotions, soul, and hard work of artists with their respective painting styles. And AI will never be able to do this. Yeah, AI is tricky. I don't think it can. I don't know. I think in terms of like certain type of art jobs, it will present a problem because companies will do whatever they can to save money. So that's always something to consider. But as far as like actually replacing artists, I don't think so. I love the landscapes as well. Thank you. It can, and that's what's scary. Yeah, you know. For me, you just focus on enjoying, having fun. I don't know. I try not to. It's enough to worry about. I don't know. And the rate of improvement is just ridiculous. Like how bad it was a year ago versus now. But it's still fun, even if a machine can do it in a minute or two. Even if it can do it in a second, I still enjoy the process of painting, so that's not gonna stop me from painting. Boy, that's what I'm here for. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Yeah, I hope so, but looking at the work created by Miyazaki, already plagiarized it. So this is a mini paint for a bigger pick. No, this is just for fun, not really for anything. Just wanted to add another page to the sketchbook. This is looking awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, I retract that. It's really awesome. Thank you. Nice fam, thanks. What makes a painting? What makes a painting? I would say having a value structure that reads, and then all the colors and stuff that's like icing on the cake. We humans have to support human artists. Yeah, I hope so, but looking at the work created by me is read that. Please make an art book with your illustrations. It's on the list. Almost effortless. Awesome as always. Thank you. You ever want to do landscapes, wildlife, or kind of set on portraits? Yeah, I did a little flip through of my plein air sketchbook, but yeah, I do plein air. I just don't really post them that much on Instagram, but yeah, I do a lot of landscapes and stuff. This is my plein air sketchbook. And I'm up to number 5. I want to try to finish that. You skipped over my statement of needed a bigger answer. Sorry, what was I forgot what the question was. But yeah, I like, especially when the weather's nice, it's hard to focus for me and like be inside looking at a computer trying to paint. It's way more fun to go outside and paint it. Oh, oops. Because she looks like a warrior. Yeah, I think I missed what came before. Oh, what makes a painting? Oh, yeah, I think I said, what did I say? Value structure? I say, like, having the value relationships, that's probably the most important thing in a painting. At least what makes it read. Because the specific colors you use don't really matter that much. Not that they don't matter, but you just have more flexibility. Yes, do you paint animals and wildlife? Yeah, I paint. I like birds a lot. I like these type of birds, herons and dogs and stuff. But yeah, I like painting animals and wildlife. But birds are probably my favorite animals to paint. And also I like painting shoes, like boots. Specifically like brown leather boots. Yeah, like yeah, this is another sketchbook. I like boots. These are my boots. Cause it's like boots are almost like painting skin because they have a bunch of like different reflections and stuff. Come to Tetons Yellowstone. The amount of inspiration you gain from wildlife would be killer. Yeah, I've never been to Yellowstone. I've been to what's it, Lake Yukon? Is that out in California? That was pretty cool. But I've never been to Yellowstone. I haven't been to the Grand Canyon either. Oh yeah. I love the way you paint boots. Always admire that one video. Thank you. It is really more fun to go outside and paint and draw and sketch. References are useful. It's all good though, as long as one gets practicing. Love drawing birds and boots too. Yeah, painting from life is definitely more fun. Like within the last 2.5, 3 years, that's when I really got into painting from life a lot more. Before it was just all from photos, but between life drawing class and plein air painting, that's much more fun than painting from photos. But photos are good practice too. That's how I learned. That's how I taught myself, was from photos. So never gonna knock photos, but it's way easier for me to focus too if it's painting from life, because it's like a limited set amount of time. If I wasn't on live stream right now, and if I was trying to paint this just by myself, I would have been distracted on my phone or on YouTube or scrolling Instagram by now. Streaming kind of keeps me on task, but yeah, it's really hard to focus these days just painting from photos, unless it's like a commission or something, like a assignment. But it's hard to focus these days in general. At least during the daytime. Something about once it gets to nighttime, it's easier for me to focus, but during the day it's such a struggle. Greetings from Antwerp, Belgium. Keep up the beautiful art. Thank you. I definitely feel like I learned more from life drawing. Love watching your process. Yeah, drawing from life is way more like, when I started doing it, I found that my improvement was way better, because it's way more accelerated, because you're seeing a lot more and you're having to make a lot more decisions yourself. Versus the photographer made all the decisions in terms of the composition and the lighting and everything. So that takes out that part of your practice. But if you're painting from life, you have to do all the curation yourself. You have to come up with the composition. You have to see values yourself. And it's definitely it's harder to paint from life, because nothing stays still forever, so you have to fill in the blanks yourself. It's a tougher but more enjoyable experience. It really is more fun to go outside and paint and draw and sketch. I think I read that. Wow, thank you. Plus, as you get quicker, working from life, memory also improves. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed too. Like I can draw from memory a lot better now, working from life, than I could before when I was just working from photos. So like, I can sketch in my sketchbook and like draw anatomy and figures and stuff without needing reference a lot a lot easier than before. And I've been doing like train sketches of people, quick sketches, and they really don't stay still for a long time unless they're like asleep. So you have to like try to see in a quick short amount of time, and when they move you have to try to remember like what they were doing in a previous position. And it's also an exercise I try to do is like, if I'm sitting on a train and somebody walks past, like I only have like a couple seconds as they're walking past, and I try to like remember their face and like just sketch the main features that I see. But I really don't capture much at all, at least exactly. But it's just good to work on the memory. But yeah, it's fun. Whenever people say try working from life, it really is that helpful. Anyone ever catch you sketching them? That would be my greatest fear realized. Yeah, sometimes it is. What I actually started doing, so like, if they're sitting in this position where it's not super obvious that I'm sketching them, so like if they're kind of further away, then I just sketch and like try to be discreet about it. But if they're like right on, lately I just started asking if they're like right facing me, I'll ask them like, you mind if I sketch you? And for the most part, they say they're cool with it. So like this one, I have a couple where I asked, like I asked this guy, he was like working on his laptop right across from me, and I asked him to sketch, and he was like, sure, whatever. But then after like a couple minutes, he just like got up and walked away and sat at another table, because I guess he didn't want me to draw him. Or like sometimes if somebody's asleep, like that's perfect because they just like staying still or whatever. But I don't know, it definitely can be awkward. But like a lot of the sketches are like people facing like to the sides, so that's always kind of easy because like they're not looking directly at you. But you can't, like, you gotta be you gotta kind of like, you position your head so you can just like look up instead of like moving your whole head and making like super obvious. Like one of my favorite ones was from, like, these are ones like anything like this is like the person walked by for like I only had like maybe 10 seconds to see him, so I tried to remember as much as possible. But it's definitely a much more like simplified style whenever it's anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. One of this is probably my favorite train sketch, because the guy was sitting right across from me, but I was just like, I just asked him if he I just asked him like, do you mind if I draw you? And he was like, sure, why not? And that was cool because he if I can find it. Like he was on a lot of people, they're always on their phone. So they're not paying you any attention. So like this one, he was on his phone for a long time, so I was able to get a pretty cool drawing. But yeah, this one was my favorite. Yeah, because I just asked him if I could draw him, and he was like, he didn't have a problem with it. So I got to draw for like, this is maybe like 15 minutes or so. And he ended up falling asleep, so stayed like still. Plus you get quicker. I take my My Cadiz logbook and sketch people while I'm walking. I stand at bus stops and do quick gestures. It's amazing, the adrenaline. I ask people if I can sketch them. I've never gotten a no. On the streets, people really don't notice you sketching them. Yeah, if they're, especially these days, everybody's on their phone, so they really don't notice. Most of the time, they really don't notice, unless you're like super obvious about it. But if they're sitting right across from me, then I'll just ask if I can sketch them. But no, it's not the New York subway. It's the commuter rail to going up to Boston. Your work is amazing, man. Thank you. They on the express train, minimum stops. Yeah. It's the commuter rail. So it's you have a good amount of time before most people are going into Boston. So it's not like frequent stops. Oh, ask me when I'm on a train for hours and get the like. Oh, ask me when I'm on the train for hours and get the like was of me. Nice. Amazing sketches, especially for quick glance. Yeah, that's I've been really trying to work on my memory. Those are tough. But a lot of it cool. It's cool to see the man behind all of these works of beauty. Wow, for real, stoked on you. Good vibes, you're a true artist. Thank you. Gotta get back to my kids. Bedtime. Awesome watching you. Have to catch you again. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping by, and have a good night. Beautiful sketches. Thank you. Yeah, those quick sketches. It is definitely adrenaline though. It's fun. I don't drink coffee, but I want to start going to like cafes and stuff and sketching people too. That might be pretty fun. And it might be easier than train sketches because they'll be sitting there for a long time, like working on their laptops or something. So you have a little bit more time to draw them. I gotta find sorry, I meant the characters on the NYC subway train. Oh yeah. Yeah, I bet. I mean, it seems like it's kind of a different world over there sometimes. Okay, let me ask, do you create darker colors of a color by adding its, I'm assuming you might complement? And yeah, I definitely do that a lot. I'll add the complementary color to make a color darker. That's a better way to do it than just adding like black. If I really need something to be super dark, then on rare occasions I'll use black, because sometimes even the darkest mixtures I can mix with gouache still don't get quite as dark as I may want them, but that's rare. The darkest color I like mixing the green. This green, I think this is phthalo green with a crimson color, and that gives me like a really close to black color that I like to use a lot. I don't know. Oh, oops. But yeah, that gives me like a really nice dark color. Yeah, phthalo green and crimson, or so a green and a red, or a brown and a blue, which is brown is just a desaturated orange, so orange and blue. Green and red. Purple and yellow don't really get you black though. Purple and yellow kind of get you just a dark brown, but it can be nice too. But for the most part, I use just green and red pairs, or brown and oranges to get blacks. That's really great. Thank you. I'm having trouble using colors. Yeah, colors are it's tricky, but I mean, the main color relationships that I have in my head are just complementary color on like a color wheel, because that's the main relationships that I memorize, and then I'll just kind of go from there. I have too many not knowing how to use or blend or even choose them. Oh, you have too. So yeah, if you're just starting out, then it might be better to limit your colors. Just that you get used to working with your specific paint. If you wanna paint portraits, like people's skin tones easily, then I would suggest using something called the Zorn palette, which is just it makes it easy to get really muted colors. So you use like a muted yellow, like a yellow ochre, a warm red, I think the original Zorn palette was vermilion, but you can use like a cadmium red or something like that. And then white and black. Black kind of acts as your blue. And then white, you just use that to lighten everything. But that gets you really, it makes it easy to mix skin tones with that. Like this was a Zorn palette painting with Casey. So it's just 4 colors. If I can turn the page. Yeah, this one. So you really don't need a lot of colors. Like this was only 4 colors, and then you can, anything that kind of looks like blue, that's just black and white, and it makes like a cool color. You can get like an olive with black and yellow. So yeah, I would say if you're struggling with colors, just start with the limited palette and go from there, because you're removing a lot of variables by having just a small amount of options. Like you're limiting your options, and it makes it easy to not get overwhelmed and just focus on the actual mixing paint. I did an art study of one of your portraits back in high school art class. It was such a good art experience. Well, thank you. I'm honored that you. It's always interesting when people pick me, because it's like I appreciate it. Like I'm just in my room painting and stuff. I don't know. I'm glad it's able to help. Do you have a blue pair on one end and another color on the other? Do I have a blue pair on one end and another color on the other? I think I might have missed something. Could you clarify? That makes sense. Oh, blue paint. She's looking amazing. Of course, I was checking tomorrow to see the final piece. Night, don't stay away too long, Jordan. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. And yeah, no promises, because I always say I'll be right back and then I disappear, but I'll try not to. At least until the weather gets real nice, then I'll be painting outside. But in the next couple of weeks, I'll try to paint on live more than once. To learn from. Oh wow, somebody used your art in their class. I might not know who I'm observing right now to learn from. I'm just a rando on the internet painting portraits in gouache. I'm working on drawing right now. We're drawing together, but mine's digital. Hey, it doesn't matter as long as you're doing something, you know. It's always fun to know that other people are. That's probably what helps me be able to focus when I'm streaming, because it's like you're not just in your room by yourself painting. It's like other people working or chatting. chill and listen to music. I love limited palettes. Yeah, for sure. They're always more cohesive because you don't just have a bunch of random colors all over the place. I just started painting with acrylics. Right, I love going to parks and getting lost in my drawings as the world revolves. Yeah, I feel like as an artist, it's real easy to get stuck in the house and antisocial. But it's good to get out and, you know, touch grass. Right, I love going to parks. She doesn't really have eyebrows, but they're like blonde. They're like I followed you for 2 years and I thought you were a woman. You can see my profile picture. My profile picture, I have like chin hair and a mustache. I mean, I know it's kind of tiny. That's funny though. But my demo, like the people that follow me, it's like 70% women, 30% men. So maybe that's why, I guess. How do you capitalize from your painting skills? People reach out for commissions, or companies sometimes reach out for artwork or online classes. In-person workshops I've been doing. Oh golly, I'm loving this now. I'm drawing Will from BG3 and I'm struggling with his hair. What's BG3? I'm not. Those are good odds, 30-70. In person, what area am I? I'm in the Boston area. I usually teach works. I teach them once a month at. It's called Boston Figurative Art Center. Your paintings are very good, thank you. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3, a video game. Okay, yeah, I've heard of that. I've never played it, but I've definitely heard of it. Plus, I'm broke, so limited palettes are broke people friendly. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm gonna do when I finally get to oil painting. I'm gonna just get I'll probably start with a Zorn palette, just 4 colors, and go from there. Because oil painting is extra expensive. So yeah, I mean that's how I started with gouache too, just a limited palette as well. So it's definitely broke friendly for sure. What's your favorite song when you're painting? Maybe it will be a song list when I am painting too. For these live streams, I like putting on chill hop. So this playlist is just called chill hop. It's nice because it's like lo-fi, relaxing music, and they tend not to bother you about copyright. I haven't tried playing just like regular songs lately because I did like a while ago, and my stream actually got cut off on Instagram at least. And I don't know what the rules are with YouTube, so I just kind of play it safe and do chill hop. PMing you? What's PM? I've been doing your Strathmore lessons. They're helping me with my pen work. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad they're helpful. that's one thing that helped me with my drawing is using pen, because it definitely helps you with your line confidence a little bit. Like something in my head mentally switches when I know I can't erase, so I'm like more careful with my lines and more confident. And it's fun just throwing something down and not being too fussy about it, you know. That's good for studies and stuff. Dang, thank you. I'm looking at this from my angle because the camera is like in my face, so I have to remind myself to come back to the middle and like make sure my proportions are okay. Dang, thank you. I've been what's your favorite song when you are painting? I was saying lo-fi music, chill hop. That's always fun to listen to. Or I have I have a like song playlist on Spotify, which is just random songs. I find a lot of songs through like Shazam and stuff, and if I like it, I'll just Shazam it and throw it on the list. Do you prefer working from life or reference? I would say from life. It's more fun. It's easier to focus. It's easier to focus for long periods of time. These days, from photos, I get distracted super easy, unless I'm streaming like I am right now, or if it's for like a specific. If it's like an original painting where it's not like just copying a reference directly, not like just a study, but like combining a bunch of references or something. That's fun too, but that's more brain power. But yeah, from life is more fun for me these days. What do you like most, pencil drawing or painting? I think I like painting. I definitely like painting more. Yeah. I think it depends on the mood I'm in, honestly. It depends on the mood. Because sometimes I really want to paint, or sometimes I really want to just sketch and pen. Yeah, I go through phases. It's been hard to stick to like one thing lately for me. I go through a phase where I feel like painting in watercolor, and that will last for a couple weeks, and then I'll be in my Procreate digital phase. That will last for a couple paintings. Then I want to jump back to gouache, then acrylic gouache. It's like a cycle. Broad strokes is my kryptonite. It's my favorite part of your process. Seeing block gesture strokes melts my mind. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to. I like carving out shapes. That's my favorite part about painting. Just carving out shapes and seeing how the layers that you put down before can be incorporated into the next layer, and how you can carve out and have it look convincing without having it to be exact is probably my favorite part about painting. Hi, hey, what's up? What's your advice for artists experiencing art block? I've actually had a art block for the last couple of weeks in terms of at least painting at home. I like I like going to figure drawing class because I don't have to think. I just show up and paint the model that's there. So that's always fun to at least get some practice in. But I've been struggling with having ideas and stuff. One thing that helps is switching up your medium, switching up your subject matter. Switching up your medium, switching up your subject matter. Painting in a different location, so painting outside if you haven't in a while, or going to a different, like a library or cafe to work. Stuff like that, just to get out of your familiar space. A cost I don't hear people mention often enough in oil painting is supports or surfaces. They get very pricey very fast. For me, I would think I don't like the look of like canvas because I don't like the stitching, like that canvas texture. So I feel like I would like painting on like boards or wood or something like that, and I can see that being expensive. I feel like this painting needs a dark later. What's a dark later? I do want to darken the background a little bit because that blue dried up a lot lighter than it was when it went down. Do you host art classes? Oh, dark layer. Yeah. It needs some. I'm gonna see how it looks once I put this dark down. This should make all the skin colors look a bit brighter, and now I can evaluate from there. Love your art from France. Thank you. Do I host art classes? Yeah, I host art classes. I have a gouache course on 21 Draw, and I do in-person workshops. What are your thoughts on arts created by with AI? I would call it images rather than art. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't know. I get why people use it, but it's a tough sell to tell somebody to practice for years and years to be able to make what you want to make. But especially in today's like instant gratification society, so I don't know. I don't really have any interest in using it for myself. For me, the fun part about art is the process of making it yourself. The uncertainty of knowing if it's gonna work out or not. Yeah, it depends if you're doing studies on pine, particle board, or buying fancy pine, etc. Yeah, I like these. I have these for watercolor, like these aqua boards. So this is just I forgot what this is. It's masonite with like a cover, like a clay coating that takes water. But I think you can just buy masonite board and put like gesso on it and paint on top of that. That might be cheap. I don't know how much like regular masonite would cost. That ampersand brand stuff is probably more expensive than just regular masonite. The gouache is funny because I'll just be like in autopilot just painting, and then I'll look up and it starts coming together. And thank you so much for this beautiful live. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. See you around whenever I stream again. Have you ever tried Crescent illustration board? Yeah, I bought a piece, and I wanted to use it for gouache, but I got the wrong one. I didn't get the water-based one. I got the regular one, but I liked it. I like the texture of it. I like the texture of it. It's I want to get the one that's for water-based media though, and try that out. Good night. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good night. Have you ever worked in pastels? I have not worked in pastels. Or at least I haven't tried to make a full piece with pastels. I have like some I have some pastels that I was like messing around with, but I never made a actual piece with it. Amazing, thank you. So this blonde hair, there's like green undertones and stuff. So I gotta figure out how to. It's like an olive kind of color to it. Oh, I didn't know they were different. I never tried it. Yeah, they have different. Different types of illustration board. Do you think AI affects jobs available to painters? Yeah, I think it will. I think it will affect. For sure. Just because if like everybody doesn't value. It's like sometimes people just want the cheapest thing they can. It's like yeah, I think it will affect jobs though. I forgot what I was trying to say. Some people, the priority is just getting the image without not really, if you can get the image as cheap as possible, that matters a lot more than getting like an authentic piece of art. There's always going to be a market for as cheap as possible. It's just unavoidable. But hopefully there's always a market for people that want the human connection. So I don't think. But I'm not gonna pretend like it's not gonna affect it at all, because I'm sure it will. The darker background really made a difference. Yeah, it's thank you. And I think, yeah, it made all the colors look a bit lighter, so I can start adding some more darkness. But I struggle with. I really like the cyan in the bottom left piece. Oh yeah, this one. Oh yeah. This one I started with I started with this blue underpainting and then painted on top of it. So a lot of that blue is from the underpainting, which blue is kind of like my go-to underpainting color, just because it's always a nice complement to skin tones. Hey, how's it going, Marissa? I hope you all have a great night. Happy painting. Thanks for stopping in. I'm just now getting into oil painting. Are there any mediums you suggest when mixing the paint to get good results? I tried linseed oil and that made it a bit runny, and goauche dries too fast. I actually haven't painted with oil. So I couldn't give you any first-hand advice. Cause I've been procrastinating on trying oil out myself, and I really want to get into it as well. What kind of blue? That was it was this turquoise cobalt color for that underpainting on this one. You really highlight each person's features. Wow, thank you. What kind of blue? Because I plan on relearning color. Yeah, I would say the exact blue doesn't matter that much, but I would say if you're relearning color, definitely try to do like a color wheel with warm colors and then a color wheel with cool colors and compare the two. So like in one color wheel, maybe use like a ultramarine for your blue, and then for the other color wheel, try like a cerulean or a cobalt blue. And then same thing for reds, like maybe try a crimson for like alizarin crimson for your red, and then try it with like a warmer red, like a cadmium red. Or similar types of color, but just to see like how color temperature affects how your color mixes turn out. What are you painting with? It's so smooth. Love the art style. I just read the title. Never mind. Yeah. This is gouache. Man, I find out because of you that I have color blindness. I think I mean maybe, I don't know. But I mean a lot of the colors that I'm seeing if I see even like the faintest hint of a color, then I might accentuate it a little more than what I'm actually seeing. Part of that comes from painting from life, because painting from life you see much more color and much more dynamic range than you do from a photo. So if I see like a faint, like, okay, this is ever so slightly, I see a tiny bit of blue in there, then I'll just make it blue. But all the colors I'm seeing, it's not explicit in a photo. I'm just, if it's like the faintest hint of a color, then I like to accentuate it. So I mean, you could be colorblind. I don't know, but I could be colorblind, and I don't know. Who knows? Like, what if what I see as red isn't the same red that you see? Maybe I was just colorblind all along, and it just makes my paintings look more interesting because I'm just throwing down random stuff. Where do you find the maps that you include in your plein air paintings? I really admire the way you organize your ideas. Yeah, so these maps, when I'm in a location, before I leave the location, I go on my Google Maps. And then so these are just Google Maps. It's just printed out from Google, and I'll take a screenshot of, if you turn your GPS on the map, it pops up like where you are. So I'll just take a screenshot of that and save it for later, and then I'll print them out and paste them into my sketchbook. So yeah, it's just Google Maps. You good? Yeah, exactly. This highlight's a little stronger than I want it to be. Would you guys want to see like plein air videos on YouTube? Would that be something interesting? These days I'm not really super inspired to like just paint like Pinterest photos on YouTube. I mean, maybe occasionally, but I'm not really. So I haven't really making videos consistently on YouTube that much. Yeah, exactly. I gotta go. It was fun. Need to up my story with my drawing now. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. And have a good night. And maybe I'll catch you another time. I watch all of your YouTube content. Thank you. Artistically, were you influenced by comics? Yeah, that was like the first thing that got me into art. All the old Marvel comics and Spider-Man and stuff. Between that and cartoons, that's what my early inspirations were. influenced by comments. I watch all of your YouTube content. Thank you. YouTube. It's hard to get momentum once you stop doing something. Graffiti and skateboard graphics for me. Nice, that's what you work on? You do like graffiti and stuff? Whenever I see like graffiti on like the side of a highway and stuff, like a highway bridge, I always wonder how they get it up there without like getting caught. Like impressive. Where are you from? I'm from New Jersey, but I'm currently in Rhode Island. Shout out from Fullerton. Cool pictures. Best regards from Germany. Cologne. Nice. I haven't been to Europe yet. Haven't been across the Atlantic Ocean. That's what got me into wanting to make art, just seeing that stuff. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, it's cool hearing like what inspired people. Like everybody has different inspirations. I feel like my generation, a lot of it was cartoons, comics, and like anime and stuff. No more graffiti because of legal troubles. Now learning about legal painting. So, what? How many? Did you get in trouble a lot? Did you get caught? What was the? No way you never went to Europe. Nope. I want to though. I want to hit every continent except Antarctica. Yes, many times. No felonies, thankfully, but I'm out of warnings. What was like the worst? What was the worst punishment you got? You had to like pay a fine or something? Do you get your inspo photos from people off Pinterest? Yeah, this is just a Pinterest photo I found. If it's just for a sketchbook drawing that I'm not selling or anything like that, then I'll just Pinterest. Just for practice. Lots of restitution payments and community service. Yeah, at least there's no felonies, which is cool. Yeah, I never got into graffiti. Have you what about murals though? Because I'm sure those are transferable skills. Like a commission. Ironically, community service doing graffiti mural removal. Did you ever have to remove your own graffiti? Oh wow, it's almost midnight. I wasn't paying attention. But I mean, I usually stay up late anyway. But this is coming together. What else can I do? Still don't like the hair yet. The hair still needs a lot of work, but I gotta think about how to make it look convincing. I think it's like a lot of you can see through a lot of the gaps in the hair are like kind of darker. So I think I'm gonna have the base of the hair be darker, and then I can paint around it with like some of the lighter paint brush strokes to make it look more like hair. I don't know. I always struggle with blonde hair. Yeah, I honestly did. Off topic, what do you think about Donald Trump? I usually don't really get into politics on my page. Honestly, I it's not good, but I kind of have been insulating myself from the news. It pop up every once in a while, but I try not to be too absorbed with the news and what's going on, for my own sanity, I guess. You make this medium look too easy. My values are still taking 4 or 5 tries for me to get them right. I mean, it's due to familiar. I can't say that word. Familiarity. I still with my paints and palettes, so I have a good idea of what to expect. I have a good idea of what to expect and how it's gonna look when it dries. And also like those beginning layers that I put down to see how the paint will look when it dries helps out a lot. But it just comes with time. When you were developing your style, did you have certain artists you looked up to? And when did you start feeling like, oh, this is the style I liked? I definitely have had a lot of artists that I really liked. I can't think of a specific artist that I tried to pattern my style after. But I liked a lot of the Golden Age illustrators, like that kind of style. I really like that a lot, like the Rockwell and all those like those old painted like advertisements from back in the days. I like in old movie posters and stuff. Not really feeling that song. Try and use this dry brush technique to kind of make the hair have a little more texture. Lion Decker style? Yeah, I like Lion Decker. Sorry to put you on the spot, just curious. No, it's not putting me on the spot. I was just trying to think. Because I know I like those. Minor artists I really like is I like Andrew Hem a lot, James Gurney, Jared Cullum. Yeah, it's not putting me on the spot. I like answering, talking and chatting and answering questions and stuff. Man, art school has aura as Hitler. What colors do you usually start with for portraits? My most common color I typically start with is a blue or a green For this one, I actually started with this. Color. It's like a reddish color. I don't know exactly what it was because it was, my palette was already dirty, so I just threw some red on there and added that. But the exact color kind of changes. But I'll say the most common one I use is probably blue, some type of cool color. This particular painting though, I just wanted to use what was already on the palette. Is this acrylic gouache? This is regular gouache, traditional gouache. I've been in the wormhole looking at ukiyo-e from Japan, the wood blocks. I don't know if I said that right. Nice. I have to check that out. Yeah, it's always cool to see like different inspirations that might not directly be what you're doing, but it can give you like fresh new ideas of how you can incorporate different ideas you might not have initially thought of. I've been experimenting with gouache myself. One of my favorite gouache artists is Alex Ross. Yeah, his stuff is crazy good. And all his references and stuff that he take. I have an art book. I have the Marvelocity art book by Alex Ross. And it's cool seeing like all the background stuff that goes into him taking his own photo references, and he has like a bunch of props and stuff that he can take really accurate lighting. I think that stuff's really cool. Oh, I forgot about the earring. There's an earring. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at making painterly brushstrokes instead of keeping things so neat. Yeah, that's always a struggle. Trying to loosen up a bit. If you try painting with like a specific time limit, that might help you loosen up, because you have to try to fit what you're doing in a set amount of time, so you don't have time to be all extra tight. But or painting from life too. Plein air painting when the light is constantly changing. That's a good way to loosen up, because every 10 to 15 minutes the light is slightly different, so a little bit of reflected, like bounce light coming up from the fur jacket. Amazing, thank you. One of my favorite paints is similar to Gouache's Flash Vinyl. It's very matte like gouache, but permanent like acrylic. It's more durable and flexible than acrylic. Yeah, I've seen it's an artist on Instagram that paints with Flash paint. His name is Matt Bollinger. I don't know how to say it, his last name, but he paints with Flash paint. It's really it's a cool effect. I think I would like that. I think I would prefer that type of paint if I got into more just painting with acrylic rather than gouache or acrylic gouache. I think I would like the matte paint look. Oh, I mainly I'm gonna try that. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, no problem. Have you tried using larger brushes than you're comfy with? Oh, I mainly use a smaller and square brush. The largest one I have is about the size of the one he's using right now to paint with. Yeah, using larger brushes will help you too with your not being so tight, because you can't really get too into the details. You have to try to condense what you're seeing into broad strokes. So that is good advice for trying to loosen up a little bit. Spanish? I know a lot of words, but I'm like real rusty. Cause I have hello from Panama, brother. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, I've been good. How's Owen and the family? He's doing good. Yeah, he just made a whole bunch of bread and brought over, like, gave me like a bunch of loaves of bread. So, and I've been eating it. Nah, he's doing good though. How are you? What you been up to? Love your work, thank you. Maybe I should invest in bigger brushes. You don't have to get a bunch, just get one. I would say just get one big angle brush, like maybe a 1-inch angle brush. That way you can work with big brush strokes, but then you can still use the corner for if you wanted to get small details. But I wouldn't get a bunch of them, just maybe a 1-inch brush or like this 1/2-inch angle shader brush. That's what I've been using for this whole painting, just these two brushes. Dominican Republic, love your work. Thank you. But yeah, I'll definitely have to run out and buy a bunch of brushes. If I could change points here, like I made it too pointy. Anybody else have for some reason I can. It's way easier to focus at night than during the day. It's just too. Thank you guys. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Do you ever seal your gouache with on fire as always, bro? Thank you. Do you ever seal your gouache watercolor artwork with cold wax? I've been experimenting with cold wax to protect my artwork. I use Dorland's wax medium. I showed this earlier in the stream. Yeah, I tried out this wax. I have this one. I've been wanting to try out the Dorland's, but I have this gambling cold wax medium, and it works pretty cool. It slightly changes the appearance a little bit. Like it's not quite as matte as it is without it, but it's not shiny either. So it's a nice. I like it versus any other type of varnish or framing behind glass. I gotta try the Dorland's though. I've been wanting to try that out. You might be feeling overstimulated during the day. Yeah, I definitely am. It's way easier to get distracted by like my phone or just whatever, looking out the windows. It's what at nighttime or early in the morning. It's just way easier to not as much going on. Profiles are hard to paint. They look so cool though. Profiles. They're actually, it's nice because once you get kind of you don't have to draw the second eye. So that's cool. So as long as you get the first eye placement down, it's you just kind of go from there. You don't have to you're like drawing half the face basically. It's more peaceful at night. Yeah, definitely. I love being creative when the rest of the world sleeps. Yeah, for sure. Man, that's probably it. I need to just turn it, like, completely commit to the night shift, and I'll be more productive. Hello, I have a question. Could you talk about your transition from going to chemistry to art? Were there specific classes or schools that helped you make the transition? I would say I got lucky because during my time in grad school, I was just posting online, and I always say the eyes don't have to be twins; they can be cousins. That's what I never heard that, but that's a good one. What was I talking about? Oh, going from art, going from chemistry to art. Yeah, so when I was in grad school, I started painting again just to relax after working in the lab, and made an Instagram account and was just posting art on there. One thing that helped was posting art like without any expectation or pressure of it having to do well. So I would just post a lot and not really care about the results, so that made it be more easy to be patient and not really care if things kind of blew up or not. But eventually, over time, it kind of started to get picked up and people started liking it and stuff. And the whole time when I was in school, people were asking for commissions and stuff, and I never took any because I was just mainly focused on school. But I graduated right when COVID started, so everything was shut down. So it was kind of the perfect time to start taking commissions and doing that kind of stuff. But I mean, building the audience definitely helped out a lot, for sure, because people kind of knew about me and knew that I existed. As far as like repeating that and trying to, times where Instagram was different back then, times were different back then, when my account kind of started to grow a lot. Like hashtags were relevant. But these days it's easier. I don't know if it's easier, but it seems like smaller accounts really can pop off a lot faster these days with reels and stuff like that. I feel like the practical advice. Yeah, I think a lot of it was kind of good fortune and timing, to be honest. Just by posting without any expectation of needing it to do well. They look so cool though. I always say I don't have to be twin. But even still, like, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot more to kind of other stuff that, like, if you're good at marketing, not necessarily like I'm having trouble thinking of good advice or specific classes in schools that help you make this. As far as a class in school, I didn't really take any art classes or any I didn't go to art school. I was just kind of following my interests more than anything, and that kind of led to me sticking with painting and just having fun with it with no pressure. And over time, it built up an audience. So I would say what helped me is just not having the pressure. Is it charcoal paint? No, this is gouache. Gouache. The blessed, hashtag blessed. Thank you. Really helpful response. So keep going at it. Yeah, I would say, like, when you're doing something, because like, even if I never started posting on Instagram, and honestly, Instagram, it was nothing that, like, it wasn't something that I set out to do. Like, in the beginning, I didn't even want an Instagram account, but somebody really close to me at the time forced me to make an Instagram account. And you never know what can happen, you know. Like, I was never really into social media like that. So even if I never made the account, I would have still been painting, and because it was just fun. So anything that's fun to you, you're gonna want to keep doing it, and you're gonna eventually get better at it. And if you start putting yourself out there, then people will eventually find you, and you never know kind of what can happen from that. There's a lot of other avenues, though, probably more efficient avenues, but social media definitely can help. But it's not the all end all be all for sure. But keep going. If it's something you like to do it with no expectation, and just have fun with it. Always try to get better, and just keep putting yourself out there, and things tend to work out. Oh, YouTube was a vibe. Still is, honestly. Yeah, YouTube's cool. Same with Insta. Yeah, it's all everything. One thing is guaranteed is that things are gonna change always. So the better you can be at just adapting and going with the flow is a little bit easier of a time you'll have. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Yeah, I stopped using Insta when they stopped showing me posts from people that I was following. Yeah. Every month, there's a setting you can put where it's like snooze suggested post. So I always turn that off so that my home feed at least will just show me the people I'm following. But yeah, these days it's kind of all over the place. I still enjoy Instagram though. It's not the greatest if you're trying to get business from it, because it's not as consistent as it used to be. Before, you know, you had a good idea of how much engagement to expect, but I see it as kind of like the stock market, like it goes up and down, and it's like peaks and valleys, but in general it tends to kind of keep going up, so it's just not as predictable anymore. Like after between 2021 and 2023, like my account just on Instagram just completely stopped growing and started losing followers and stuff. It went down almost 50K within those 2 years, but then last year off of one post it went back up like 80K. and then it goes back down and fluctuates, goes up, down, fluctuates. So after seeing that, I was just like, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, and I'm just gonna not really worry about it too much. I could post every day and try to do all the tricks and stuff that they say, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to paint. So I caught you on Eric Rhodes' show. Really good demo. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I painted this skull. Yeah, this. But yeah, that was a fun demo. What facial feature did you first become really good at? What facial feature? Probably lips. I like painted lips. Speaking of, I haven't actually really touched these in a while. Yeah, I stopped. Not that severe, but it felt bad. Yeah, it felt. It did feel. I'm not gonna lie and act like it didn't bother me at times, but once I saw that, it's like nothing. I mean, it is something I could have done, was to, if I kept because it was a time where I stopped posting for a while. I was going through some personal stuff, so I kind of chilled out. I didn't really post as much. And to me, if it's like, if you have to constantly be, is that the kind of audience you will want? If you have to constantly be posting forever in order to keep their attention. So, I don't know. I mean, business-wise, that's not the best attitude, but I don't know. End of the day, it's just random numbers. But like when people actually interact and stuff, that's why I try to interact and talk with people and answer comments, because it's actually, there's a lot of bots and stuff, but there's a lot of actual people. And focus, like, even just imagining being in a room full of, like, I just taught a watercolor workshop with like 10 people, and like 10 people in a room just around you, that's a lot of people. I don't know. So like, imagine having like a couple thousand or a couple 100,000 or a couple hundred even, is just, that's a lot of people. But the brain, it's really easy for a brain to always need like more and more and more, all constant growth. You're so talented. Thank you. You have some signature color palettes. Yeah, I really like. I like this sky blue color. That's definitely a favorite color. I use a lot of the same colors pretty much for everything. Instagram, when it was a photo app, was top tier. I guess they had to compete with the other short form video platforms. That's what I'm saying. It was the best back then. Yeah, I guess I miss it. There's still lots of awesome stuff on there. I'm just too nostalgic. Yeah, I got on Instagram late 2017, 2018. So by then, at that point, it wasn't like the chronological feed anymore. So I never experienced how that was like. Cause I remember that was a thing people would say a lot, like it used to be chronological. But it still was more photo focused. Although, I mean, what made my account start to grow was doing time lapses and stuff. But that was before Reels, because people like seeing like the process of like actually painting, like the painting process. But it was a bit more. It wasn't quite as common as, because Reels Reels didn't exist, so like having video was an easy way to stand out back then. There's still, I felt that I'm the same way. It's not all bad, I just miss it a bit. My favorite feature to paint is lips too. Yeah, they're fun to paint for sure. And they're in the center of the face, so you can use them to calibrate and measure like everything else off of. The time is flying. That's funny, somebody thought I was the woman earlier. I feel like from my profile picture you can I get to doom scrolling from art reels. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really engage with reels that much. I usually, if I go to a page, I like to go to I go to their main, like the main feed where like the photos and stuff are. But I mean, I do see why Instagram is pushing reels and photos, because it's way more easy to get addicted and go down like a rabbit hole when it comes to reels and videos versus looking at photos on a static feed, because you're only there for a couple seconds, then you move on, versus like an infinite scroll. Noses have noses are fun to paint too. Noses have such a cool character. They're fun to draw and paint. But it can be simple and tricky at the same time. And of course, eyes are always fun to paint too. Easy to mess up, but fun to paint. The eyes stress me out. Yeah. I usually save them for last, especially when I'm drawing. Like, I'll get everything lined up and then put the eyes in like last, so I have like a bunch of reference points to make sure they're all lined up. I see some people like can start the whole portrait with just an eye. I never got how people could do that. whenever I try to start with the eye, they end up being crooked. Did you go to art school? Do you feel it's worth it? I didn't go to art school, but I think it depends on what you're trying to get out of it. But I can't speak on it from firsthand experience. I can see how the connections you get could potentially be worth it, but I think art school, like anything, is what you make out of it. But no, I didn't go to art school. To learn the skill of painting, do you need to go to art school? I don't think so. You can learn. Or you can learn in these days, information is all out there, so you can learn pretty much whatever you want without school. But school does also offer certain benefits that you can't get, or that it's hard to replicate. So but the price is definitely it's crazy how much art school costs. Like, it costs the amount that you're paying versus like the potential earnings on the other side could be. It depends what you end up getting into, I guess. You're amazing. Thank you. Where are you living? I'm in Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island. I struggle with lips. Yeah, lips are one of the things is you make sure that to keep in mind that they're not just straight across. They wrap across around the face. Good answer. Wow. Yeah, as far as art school or not, it's like everything has pros and cons and trade-offs. It's just all about what trade-offs you're willing and able to make. But information is definitely widely available, and there's cheaper alternatives too. A bunch of professional artists do mentorships these days, or their own classes, which are much cheaper, and you don't have to do like the like core classes that you might need from a regular college that they need for accreditation, but might not have anything to do with what you specifically want to do. So what medium am I using? This is gouache. This is gouache paint. It's gouache is opaque watercolor, an opaque water-based paint. I've been wanting to get into gouache paint for years. Is there a brand or type you recommend for beginners? I would say as far as specific brand, maybe not so much as important, but I would say in general, it's better to get a smaller, limited palette of high quality paints than getting a giant box of like 60 different colors. So it's better to get like 5 good colors and learn how to mix paint from like primaries rather than buying like a lot of the beginner brands have like 60 different colors, and if you actually look on the back of the tubes, they're just mixing a bunch of the same colors to get all those different variations. You could just mix it yourself and you actually learn more about color mixing that way. Do you have Patreon? I do, but I'm bad at updating it. And I was thinking about dropping it, to be honest. Your 21 draw portrait class was my intro to gouache, and I fell in love with this medium a few years back. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun to make. I gotta make another class. I think I'm done with this for tonight. It's almost 1. I like how it came along. I'll probably look at it tomorrow with some fresh eyes, see what other touch-ups I can do. But I like it so far. Yeah, I think it's I don't know, I gotta see it with fresh eyes. But I like the progress I made on it so far. I took your sketching class too. Thank you. And it looks amazing. Thank you. Yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. It was fun. I will be on again at some point. I don't know when. And I stopped making promises of when I'm gonna hop on. So I guess I'll see you when I see you. But thanks for hanging out. If I'll save the live, it will be up on my. It saves automatically to YouTube, so that's fine. I'm gonna save it to Instagram. Sometimes Instagram might take it down, depending on if. Sometimes the music might cause it to get taken down, but if Instagram doesn't take it down, it'll be saved on Instagram too. But for sure, it'll be up on YouTube. Yeah, guys, thank you. Have a good weekend. If I don't hop back on tomorrow or at some other point. And yeah, it was fun. See you later.